Hello, welcome back to the channel. Sorry I've been away for a little while. I've got married, been on honeymoon and been doing holiday stuff. But I thought I'd do this next video. A few days ago, I was on the M25 on a couple of jobs and I encountered some really, really bad, dangerous and aggressive driving. Now, I was being tailgated by a car. I was in the outside lane doing 70 miles an hour in a queue of cars in a line of traffic. We couldn't go any faster. Not that we would anyway, doing the speed limit. And this guy was up behind me, flashing me to move over. Obviously, I didn't move over. I couldn't move over because I couldn't move into a space which wouldn't have compromised my stopping distance and the car behind. So I just kept where I was going until I eventually did have big enough space to move into. And just so I'm moving across into that space, he decides to try and go up the inside of me. Anyway, hoots and blasts, and then he gets blocked out by another car that was also in lane. I went from lane 4 to 3. There was a car in 2. He couldn't do it. So he then swings up behind me, and as he passes me again, he blasts again. So anyway, it's one of those things. It happens all the time on the M25. It's rife. But it got me thinking that I used to teach advanced driving a few years ago. I was an associate. I was an observer with the Shropshire Group Institute of Advanced Motorists while I was in the fire service. And in an 8-year period, I probably got between about 15 and 18 associates through an advanced driving test. So it just made me think actually about driving in general and driving tips and driving standards today. So obviously I was driving back and I was thinking, about the proper way to drive and being courteous and above all being safe. And I just thought it might be an idea to put some videos on this Summed Up channel with me sort of talking about advanced driving. And if I can give you some tips from what I can remember from the days when I used to teach it, then all great, well and good. So I've done a little video. I did a short journey, a 17-minute journey just now to Lidl's in Milton Keynes, near where I live. And I just thought I'd just put it together to do a commentary like we used to try and encourage our associates to do, because if we could understand what they're seeing, it made our job a lot easier in teaching. So as I say, we were called observers. We were called that because we didn't get paid. It was all voluntary work, so we couldn't call ourselves instructors, but effectively we were instructing people on their courses. So I'm going to show you the video, and then in subsequent videos later on I will go into a bit more detail as to how that worked with the Institute of Advanced Motorists. They've all got regions. So I was in Shropshire, the Shropshire group of the IAM. They're all over the country and they're worth looking into if you really want to improve your driving standards. Very simple course. I believe it's all online now. And then you get passed to an observer, which is what I did. And then they take you out practically and go through the various things, system of car control, corner lines, limit points, all that type of stuff with you practically on the road. And believe me, it's worth doing. My last accident I had was 1994. I very stupidly ran into the back of someone. I wasn't concentrating, ran into the back, just a minor bump, but that was in 1994. Now 2025, and I do probably 30,000 miles a year, so I think my advanced driving training has stood me in good stead. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. I've now just been to Lidl, got my shopping. I'm just going to go home and cook some dinner. And I'll put the video on and let me know what you think. And if you think that you could do with some driving tips or some advice, please put it in the comments below and I will try and address those, not just by replying, but on videos. I'd like to actually listen to comments, listen to questions and actually demonstrate them in the car if I can. I've got a forward-facing camera. This one I'm recording on now is an Osmo Pocket 3. It's in a cage on the dash, and it's completely remote. So I start the cameras before I start a journey, and then when I've finished, pulled over, stop the engine, I turn them off. And I've got a little DJI Osmo Pocket, an Osmo, whatever it's called. It's a new one I've just got, but that's fitted to the driver's door window by the door mirror, which I do the picture-in-picture with. So you'll see that in a bit. Anyway, hope you enjoy the video. Do like and subscribe to the channel, make some comments. And if you do subscribe, don't forget to press the bell button, because by doing that, you then get alerted to my next video when it comes out, so you can go on and watch it straight away. So anyway, enjoy the video and I'll speak to you later. Before I get into the video proper, I'm just going to show you this little camera that I was talking about earlier that I couldn't remember the name of. It's called an Osmo Nano. and it's basically the size of your thumb. I'll just take it off and show you. It's magnetic, and it's on a clip, and there it is. So as you can see, it sits just beside the door mirror. So here's a little test on the advanced driving thing I was thinking of doing. Obviously volume is being recorded to both. I'm just coming to the giveaway line and stopping at the giveaway line now, just to match the sound on the video. So again, looking shoulder checks, coming up to another giveaway line where I could see vehicles coming from the right, clear to the right. Open, the mouth of the junction is open, so I'm going to proceed into that junction. Over a speed hump. So I'm coming up to another bend now, car on the bend, to a roundabout. Now this is the exit to a couple of industrial units, so it could be quite busy here, and of course it's now coming up to 4:30, so it could be that there are people leaving work at this time who are rushing to get home. Roundabout's near clear. I'm going to turn right, indicating right. Going up to a junction where the sat nav says I need to turn left. Just letting it roll to the junction because I can see there are cars waiting to come out, so there's no need, or to go out, so there's no need for me to rush. No need for a left indicator, I can only turn left. So now I'm starting to look to the right to see what vehicles are coming, watching the Range Rover. Can't go until the Range Rover's clear, obviously. He's now gone. To the right is clear. Cone's on the left, which means there's obviously some roadworks going on. Now in a minute I need to turn right at the roundabout, so I'm going to do a mirror check, door check to check it's clear, indicate to move over, there's nothing behind me. It's a white van. Matey boy's decided lately he wants to go to the right. So I'm now looking at the mouth of the junction, looking to do my planning and flow, having to stop because the Range Rover's had to stop. Looking at what's coming on the roundabout, there's a silver car, black car, another black car coming round. I'm not going to be able to do that, and a white car not indicating. Clear after the white car. Shoulder check to the left, indicate to the right for the people at the roundabout. Looking round into the bend, curvature of the bend, shoulder check again. Coming off the junction, shoulder check. Sweeping into the bend now. Road opens out in front of me. I can see there's something in the middle of the road. It's like a branch or something, but I'm just being aware of that. Mouth of the junction to my left is open. Car behind me is keeping a good following distance, good safe following distance. So we're coming up to the brow of the hill. I can see a car at the junction waiting to come out and turn right across my path. There's also vehicles turning left, they're indicating, I think. So looking for the Mini to make sure it doesn't come out. His signage there could be blocking his view. She, actually. So coming up to another roundabout. So again, just letting the power ease off, checking the mirror behind, making sure that the guy's not too close behind. Going to be going straight across at this roundabout. Now, as I get to this point, I'm going to be watching so I can just flow onto the roundabout if possible. Yes, I can. It's clear. I'm going to slip in behind that car. So it's all about planning and flow. You just need to plan your approach, look at your approach, anticipate the vehicle's speed of anybody else approaching the roundabout, and then just merge. Basically, if you can avoid braking and stopping, that saves a lot of fuel, a lot of brake wear, tyre wear, and it makes it a lot smoother for any passengers in the car and yourself, of course. So coming up to another roundabout, this is Milton Keynes, there's lots of them. Again, 45 miles an hour. The speed limit along here is actually 60, but I'm not going to do 60 because it's just silly. Two cars at the mouth of the junction, both stationary. Both are making eye contact with my car, which is good. So coming down to a roundabout where I'm going to be turning right. So move to the right hand side of my carriageway. Indicate now. Looking at the junction, make sure it's open and it's flowing. Again, watching my planning and flow, slipping in behind this orangey or yellowy car. Watching the car on the left, make sure it doesn't cut the corner. Keep shoulder checking him. Looking around, shoulder check the blue car. indicate for the blue car and the cars coming to the roundabout, off the roundabout, car parked on the left. Basically, what you see, the way to look at hazards is say it as what you see, what it means, and what you're going to do about it. So I've just seen a sign that the right-hand lane is closed. So I'm checking that there's nobody going to overtake me and squeeze me into, or try and squeeze in before we get to those cones. Nice steady approach. And of course the hazard here could be some displaced cones and the orange flashing lights in the middle of the road, but there aren't any. So turning left at the roundabout, so nice easy early selection of the left lane. Again, watching the planning and flow as we come to the roundabout, waiting for the car in front to go. Nice gentle acceleration away again. There wasn't really anybody to indicate to there because there was nobody coming to the roundabout. And that's another thing you have to do. You have to decide whether your indicator is going to be received by someone, and that's not just other cars, it's cyclists, pedestrians. So basically, if there's no one there to benefit from your indicator, you don't need to do it. And by deciding whether there's someone there, makes you a more observant driver. So that's worth considering as well. If you've got passengers in the car though, it's always best to indicate so that they get a little audible warning that you're not going to be going straight on, and so they can prepare their stomach, because your head goes one way, your eyes go one way, your stomach goes the other sometimes. So it can be a little bit uncomfortable. So again, another roundabout ahead of us. I can see brake lights going on at that. There's two cars ahead. I've got a car fairly close behind me, so I'm just going to ease off a little bit, more gently than I would do normally. There's no point rushing down to a roundabout, braking at the last minute and then roaring away like so many people do in Milton Keynes. So middle lane selection, I can't go round, there's a car coming round now, but I can after this one. Slip in behind him, take the lane selection, don't cut the roundabout, indicate for the cars approaching from the other side, and off. I do find, as I mentioned just now, that in Milton Keynes you do get quite a lot of people that go racing down to the roundabout, to the very last 50 yards even, and their brakes are on, brake lights come on, and everybody's been thrown about in the car. They negotiate the roundabout as fast as they possibly can, and then as soon as they get clear and on the straight the other side, the foot's down again to the next one. And I do believe that this is why we're getting traffic lights being put on lots of roundabouts now, because people take them too fast. So coming to the roundabout again, middle lane selection, nice, clear, precise selection of the lane. You don't need to indicate. If you're in the right lane, people generally know where you're going. So roundabout again, off to the left, left-hand lane straight away, shoulder check, mirror check, nothing coming down beside me, to my right. And now I've got quite a long stretch of road where I can get up to the maximum speed limit, which here is 70 miles an hour, because there's one just gone past. Foot to the floor. Maximum speed limit here is 70 miles an hour because there is a natural, there's a physical barrier between the carriageways. But again, anywhere around Milton Keynes on these types of roads, I think 70 is too much. You've got all sorts of other hazards. You've got redways, all sorts of things. Again, the car's just cut in front of me. He's obviously going to be turning left, or maybe straight on. So again, a nice gentle approach to the roundabout, expecting this white car to come into my lane, but he hasn't. Looking at the open mouth of the roundabout again, can flow straight through, don't cut the roundabout, keep to the lane. So now again, straight on. I can see right in the distance that there's another set of traffic lights that are red in front of that van. Everybody's keeping a nice distance. The car I had behind me a few minutes ago is still there. Closer than I would like, but it's not a problem. So again, I'm going to be taking going straight on. So in this point, you've got to be in the right hand lane to go straight on, because the two, lane 1 and lane 2, go left. So you need to be in the correct lane at this point, which is most unusual because usually the centre lane goes straight on, but this one doesn't. It's only this lane 3 that goes straight ahead. I could have gone through that light, but I've got nothing behind me, so it was quite safe to stop. So this is what I was saying about the roundabouts in Milton Keynes. A lot of them now have traffic lights on. They're big, wide open junctions, big, wide open roundabouts. You can see well what's coming at you on the approach, but they're putting traffic lights on lots more now. And my theory on this is because so many people now drive their cars like they're in a PlayStation game. They literally go negotiate roundabouts as fast as they can. So the authorities, by doing this, have to slow people down, and they do it by bunching people up with traffic lights. So straight across the roundabout here, watching for potholes. There are a few. Now this left lane is left turn only. I'm going straight ahead, so I need to accelerate to get into this lane now to go straight on. Left lane only to the left. Again, this is another thing they do. There's no real need to have the left-hand lane dedicated just to left turn, because once we get across the lights, you'll see that there's some chevrons that are worn away. But you could actually get lane 1 could merge with lane 2, and of course there were 2 lanes originally when it was built, but now they've taken that left lane, put a traffic on in it, slowed it all down, and put a bus lane in as well. So it's all traffic calming. I believe the authorities don't want cars on the road. They make it more and more difficult for them to get from A to B, slowing everything down, creating congestion. Because when you have congestion, everything's safe, of course. Nobody gets anywhere, but it's safe. And that's all they're concerned about. So we're in a 30-mile-an-hour zone now. I'm looking for doors of cars opening. I'm looking for people coming between the cars. You know, it's finished school time. Kids should be at home now. So now I'm going to swing out to the right-hand side of my lane, so I've got better view to the left. That's called limit points and corner lines. So with corner lines, if you're doing a right-hand bend, sit to the left. It means that you can see slightly further around that bend than you would do normally. But also it means that other people can see you just that split second earlier. And of course, that split second can make a big difference, you know, life or death sometimes if there is a collision possibility. So the car is he's indicating he's not coming out, he's yielding. That's good. 20-mile-an-hour zone now, and again we're getting more and more 20-mile-an-hour zones. There's a white van has just come out in front of me without stopping, slowing down. Probably a delivery driver, almost certainly a delivery driver in a van like that. So I could be expecting him to stop also erratically in a minute at his next drop off. There's a guy crossing with a dog. He's a long way off. He's made eye contact with me. That's good. He stopped. Excellent. So now I'm going to swing round to the left. Car behind me is a black Audi, sporty Audi, but he's keeping his distance from me. Bus lane is still there, although a lot of it's worn away. It'd be difficult to know it's a bus lane actually in places. Bus lane is gone, so I'm now going to move over to the left-hand side of the carriageway behind the van. My journey's almost over. I've only got a couple of 100 yards to go. So nice and slowly rolling up to a stop behind the Citroen relay van, keeping visible tyres and tarmac between my car and theirs, so that if I do need to manoeuvre around, I can. So cruise control back up to the 20 miles an hour. And I can see my destination in front of me. It's Lidl's. So there's a little speed hump just there. And I need to turn right here, so I'm going to select this right-hand lane. Mouth of the junction's open, no pedestrians. I'm going to make my way across. Child running across there in front of me. I could have held back and let them through, but I was hanging out onto a junction, so it's not safe to do that. They'd stopped, so they could stay stopped. Now, when I park, I could park in one of the bays nearest to the front doors, but I never do, because I find that most people that park near a front door are quite lazy. They don't want to walk anywhere. I would much rather, I like my doors too much. I like my doors to be intact, so I'd much rather find a space like this, way out of the way, all on my own. I know there's means I'm walking another 50 yards or so, but I don't care about that. So here I am at Lidl's. I hope you enjoyed that video. I'll give you some more driving tips if you like on more videos. If there's anything you'd like me to discuss about driving and techniques and advanced driving, put them in the comments below and I will try and address them on one of the next drives that I do. There's lots to talk about, and advanced driving is all about really driving safely, reducing the ratio of anticipation and reaction. So really, when you're driving advanced driver style, you should be anticipating a lot more what's going on around you and not reacting to so much. So really, you're looking at probably 95, 98% anticipation with only 2 or 3% reaction. A lot of people drive, they're not in the zone. Statistically, 80% of road traffic accidents happen within the first 2 miles of home or work. And that's because people very often leave their home or work at the same time every day. And they come to a junction at 7:30 in the morning. No one ever pulls out of that driveway, but one day somebody does. So, and it takes probably around about 17 minutes, I think the figure is, for the average driver to what I call get into driving mode. So as soon as they come out their front door, they've perhaps got the mind on the kids, dropping the kids at school, or I must remember to do that email today. And so they're not really in driving mode. For the average is 17 minutes, I believe. So the thing is you need to get, when you're in your car, you need to go into driving mode as quickly as you can. And in future videos, I'm going to discuss about how you prepare yourself mentally for that as well. So that the minute you start driving and those wheels start turning, you're in a much safer position where your head is driving as well. It's not just, you're not just physically doing it, but you're actually, your mindset is on driving as well, to try and reduce those accident figures within the first 2 miles of home. Anyway, hope you like the video. I will be doing more. As I say, if you want any tips on any particular scenario or any aspect of advanced driving, please put them in the comments below. I will be doing more of these videos, and I'd like to address any concerns you've got or any questions. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you on the next one.